When people think of the drivers of global warming, with good reason, they tend to think of coal plants and gas-guzzling cars. But the contribution of housing is often either underappreciated or overlooked entirely. This cannot remain the case.
So we can't achieve the 1.5 goal unless we think about the three primary sectors that drive emissions: energy, transport, and buildings.
Indeed, buildings or the built environment is critical in order for us to be able to drive our carbon emissions down.
Leadership at every level and deep collaboration are the antidote to overcome the challenges of a historically fragmented and siloed sector.
Bring a larger ecosystem together to amplify ideas, action, and positive impact for a more sustainable future for all.
Nothing is more important than working together.
I come from the state of Maharashtra, from India, and when you have 125 million population within your state, when 43 cities having almost 65 to 68 million people working, living, growing each day within these cities, I don't think deep collaboration has any other option than going for it.
Mayors are at the front line of climate change, and they know that limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees is only possible if all stakeholders act now, and in collaboration with national government, with the private sector and civil society.
We are celebrating 1,049 cities joining the Cities Race to Zero, representing 722 million people, and whose collective action has the potential to reduce global emissions by 1.4 gigatons annually by 2030.
Thanks to investments in renewable energy, decarbonizing district heating, and low-carbon transport. We are well on our way to achieve our ambitious goal to become carbon neutral by 2029 and climate positive thereafter.
Recognizing the power of collective action, which is an important theme here at COP26, we wanted to announce today that Gensler is launching its Global Green Materials Initiative.
Also, World Green Building Council announced 44 new signatories to the whole life carbon commitment.
We tried to be as specific as we could be with the goals and the metrics so that we could measure our progress and so that our community could hold us accountable, not for aspirational goals, but for very specific achievements.
In Scotland, we're approaching the built environment challenge in partnership with our municipalities, with joining together with a number of global partners to establish a Clean Heat Forum. And that forum will be bringing together front-runner governments, energy companies and private companies to accelerate the efforts to reduce emissions associated with heating our buildings.
In 2020, in our NDCs was established that 100% of new buildings will reduce between 20 and 45% its energy and water consumption by 2030.
Today, actually, C40 launched a new coalition of cities and construction companies to tackle the urgent challenge of emissions from the global construction sector in this clean construction program.
From the standpoint of getting to net zero, we need our cities and our communities to establish building codes and directives that raise the bar.
We really need to scale, and in order to scale, we need to crack the business case.
Over half of all buildings that will exist in 2050 are yet to be built. This is an opportunity.
We know that net zero is not good enough.
We have a limited carbon budget left, and if we translate that to the built environment, we need to reduce in the next 8 years by 50%.
We need to commit, we need to invest, and we need to legislate and regulate.
It's the time to act now. It's not just the governments who will be acting. It's not just the corporates who will be acting. We have to have a deeper collaboration with our own citizens, with our people who live in rural areas and urban areas.
We need government to set clear plan. We need government to define a roadmap and a clear mechanism in order that those commitments can be translated into actual projects where then the industries can deliver.
We need to take into into consideration the whole life cycle of carbon emissions of a building.
We keep talking about radical collaboration. This is the opportunity. COP27 will be in Africa. What I expect to see at COP27 is all these commitments from countries, from cities, from companies. I'd like to see what they've done in Africa as well.
Africa presents a huge market, huge solutions to the global climate change.
I would hope, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Built Environment Coalition that has brought us here, that every year we will take stock, and especially next year, I hear it will be in Egypt, it will be in Africa, so let us bring this forward and have a talk.